guys, welcome back to Gulfside Bait Works. We're doing another color demo for our Wednesday episode. And today we're going to do another 8-bit baits. Today from the Pixie line, it's going to be Pixie Dust PD002 Skooma. That is the one we're doing. For those that don't know, that is an Elder Scroll reference. But yeah, so that's what we're doing today. Plastics in the back. We will do it like we've done the other 8-bit colors, where we will do some open pours from some cool guys like Bait and Tackle and Swamp Trout, and we will do a bottom coat that is clear plastic with, not bottom coat, bottom half of the laminate that is just Skooma with nothing else in it, and the top half we will use a little bit of Lureworks Black. So that's what we're doing today. I will be right back once the plastic's hot and ready, and we'll get it mixed up and get going from there. All right, see you guys in a minute. All right, we're back and we're ready to get mixing. So I'm gonna do a 1/4 teaspoon of each of these. There we go. I'm gonna do a 1/4 teaspoon of each of these in each one. I'm feeling generous today, but you know, I don't mind using that much of the Pixie Dust. It is not as expensive as the hollow shifts. It doesn't give you quite as many color shifts as the hollow shifts do, but it still gives you quite a lot of shiftiness and bang for your buck wise. It's not bad. I believe it's 20 bucks for this 10-gram container. And this one, what you'll see, when I used it before, I saw purples in there and a little bit of a yellowish, purples and yellow, but I have not used this with straight black, so I'm interested to see what we get with straight black when we mix it with straight black. You know, and again, this one is Pixie Dust from 8-Bit Baits, and that is Bait Chuckin' here on YouTube. Yeah, it's he makes cool products. He does a great job, and you know, he does watch some of these videos, so I do appreciate that. Hopefully I'm in the camera good here. Okay, yeah, I do appreciate that. But yeah, so all right, so what I'm seeing here so far, the angle that I'm looking at here, when I lift this up and look at it, see if I can do that for you. I don't know if your color will be the same, but I'm seeing purple. But when I look at it this way, I'm seeing a goldish yellow. So that's what I'm getting so far. And you know, like I said, I used this as a clear belly before, and I got that purple and yellow. So that's what I was expecting there. It's a real light purple, like a violet highlight purple. Now let's check this side out. What we're going to do for our belly. Let's start out with 5 drops of black to give our comparison. And we may go up from that, we may not. We'll see what it looks like. Oh, yeah, definitely seeing that violet already. Oh, and seeing gold down here. Yeah, so I'm thinking that this is going to mostly be a violet to gold highlight. I mean, that's what I've seen out of it. Not highlight, shift. Just gotta, you know, really gotta stir the powders. If you're watching this, you probably are used to bait making. You know that powders can take forever to get stirred up. I find sometimes if your powder is not breaking up and stirring the way you want it, heating up your plastic will cause all the plastic to move around, and that will really help with that. Yeah, even this is actually super cool. The way I'm sitting, I see purple on the top and gold shifts down on the bottom. So yeah, I think that's our main components of this color. I did use quite a bit of it, so it's pretty thick. But yeah, even sitting here, I'm seeing golds and purples. Yeah. Could definitely see uses for this in a shad pattern, which, you know, that's kind of what we're going to get here in just a second. It is a shad pattern because we're going to pour it in a bunch of we're going to pour it in a bunch of different baitfish type patterns here. I'm going to throw this in for 30 seconds. And while I do that, let's talk. But yeah, so that violet color I'm getting is pretty cool. It's almost like a violet highlight, but it also goes through the whole bait, not just on the edges like you get with a highlight. So I think that that's a cool advantage of that. I feel like Bait Chuckin said that he might be bringing some highlights out, so that's exciting. I would love to see some of these things that he has as just a single color as a highlight, because personally I don't find there's any red highlights that I'm super into, but if I could get a red like the reds you see in some of the holo shifts, like Vice City, that, you know, at certain angles, just that red, that would be sweet. I would love to see that. So, you know, hopefully we see something like that, because, you know, he has some pretty cool stuff. So here we go. We're going to start out with Bait and Tackle's Big Eye Fat Head. Pour this big fat belly on this guy. And we'll pour the top. Nice and slow, work our way back. A lot of times, yeah, the tail is full before I even make it back there. All right, so there's one. And I'm pouring these just a little bit above the hook slot. You know, if you're interested in these molds too, Bait and Tackle periodically puts these up for sale. I don't think that he has them just sitting around, but he does drops every once in a while, and it's the exact same for the other molds we're going to be doing today, which are the molds from Swamp Trout. You know, he doesn't just have them sitting in stock, but he does mold drops. Yeah, we'll do a Swamp Trout next. This is an ST4, which is his smaller swim bait. Here we go. Poured that one pretty high. This one's got a very tall hook slot in it, so if you're pouring to the top of the hook slot, you do end up having a very little back. So maybe on one side I'll do it that way, and the other side we won't fully pour it to the top of the hook slot, so we can see the difference. All right. Yeah, so we'll give this one a little bit more back. Ooh, that's getting a little cool on me. Hopefully we're good on that tail. Alright, I'm going to throw these back in there for 30 seconds. I like to keep it nice and warm when I'm pouring these. And I might even, depending on how much I have, pull out. I've got 2 more tombstone kickers. That's the next one we're going to do. Actually, you know what? If it's fresh out of the hot, this one's a little harder to pour because the tail's so thin. I think we will pour this one first. And this is the Creek Shot from Swamp Trout Baits. Alright. You know, and that tail's thin, so I'll pour that when my plastic's as hot as I'm going to have it. Give myself the best possible chance of not messing it up. You know, and I'm getting some greens at certain angles, and almost like a turquoisey blue. I'm seeing that at some angles in the clearer one, not in the black one. I'm not seeing that bluish turquoise color in the one that we added black to. Not too bad. It wasn't perfect. My pour. Alright. Nice clear belly. Alright, that one came out pretty good. Over poured a little bit on the front end. That's okay. What you can do when you over pour these is just whoosh, a little off the top, just like that. Alright, so we'll set this guy aside. Now, tombstone kickers, and I think we got enough plastic to do all 4 of those. You know, and again, if this is your first time watching and you're wondering why I'm pouring this way instead of letting them cool, you get a cool blending effect that I really like. That's why I pour it this way. And that's it. It's just the blending effect you get by doing it this way. It gives you cool colors. I like it. It only really works in silicone molds. If you do this in aluminum mold, the plastic gets cool too fast and you just end up with cold cracks. So don't try it that way. I've done it, it doesn't work. Don't waste your plastic. But anyway, so yeah, here we go. We're doing our bellies and then our backs, and you know, again, this is the tombstone kicker we're pouring, and this one is another bait and tackle mold. Alright, yeah, this pixie dust is looking sweet. This is the Skooma again on their pixie dust line. This is his more affordable line as opposed to what we did 2 weeks ago, which was the holo shift, which is like the primo of primos. I mean, this stuff is definitely still premium stuff. There's definitely cheaper stuff out there, but it is a little bit less expensive than the holo shifts. I have used this in, not this one, but I've used another one from the pixie dust line in my airbrush, and it seemed to work pretty good. I definitely had to thin it a lot more. You know, so if you're into airbrushes, I know the holo shifts, just boom, throw it in there with a clear, and you're good to go. I did have to thin the pixie dust a little bit more. I don't think that it's as small as the holo shift is, but if you're interested in trying that, check with 8bitbaits. I'm sure he's got contact on his website. I'm pretty sure he does. If not, you can reach out to him on Instagram. He is most definitely on there all the time. He reposts lots of my stuff, which I really appreciate. He posts all kinds of cool stuff from all kinds of people who use his products. So, you know, maybe if you start using it, he might repost your stuff too. But yeah, so there we go. Got all those poured. So what are we going to do next? I got to wait for them to cool. So we will come back when they cool. So I'll see you guys in a few. All right, we're back. Everything's cooled. So let's check them all out. We'll start out with the tombstone kickers. Let's check out this Skooma. All right. So here we go. First impression that blue highlight is the biggest, not blue highlight, the kind of similar to a violet highlight color. That violet seems to pop out the most, but certain angles I'm getting yellow, and actually in the darker one I'm now getting a blue once it's cooled down. So yeah, there we go. There's one tombstone kicker. There's our next one. Got another one there. top up there a bit on that one. All right. Dog hair. And that one got a stray piece of glitter in it. That's okay. It's like, you know, proof it's made by Bait Maker, right? All right, what do we got next? Let's hit up our ST4s from Swamp Trout. How do they look in the Skooma? Looking good. And this is the one that had the thinner, dark section on the top. This one has the thicker, dark section. Well, not that much thicker, but yeah, here we go. All right, next up we got the Creek Shot, and I cleaned the top of these up a little bit while I was waiting. These big eye fatheads take quite a while to cool because they're so wide, so I had some time. Cleaned the top up, right over poured. All right. There we go. Wow, you can really see that like bluish green teal color in the top of that one. So I got teals and purples, golds. Interestingly enough, in the clear section, I'm seeing both the purples and the golds, but not the teals and greens. Those seem to only come up in the darker section. Alright, one more Creek Shot. There we go. Alright, and now the big boys. These are our big-eyed fatheads, which is another, or the OG, the first mold from Bait and Tackle. Wow, look at that. With that big side, you just get like a wall of purple at a certain angle, and then down to gold. A lot of that tealish green in the top. Looking good. Very cool with the Skooma. And we got one more of those. Alright, let me set all of these up here, and I'll bring the camera around, and we'll say our goodbyes for the day. Hopefully I will see you again on Sunday, as I do videos Sundays and Wednesdays. So yeah, you know, hopefully you drop by. If you like the video, definitely throw me a comment. You know, I want to hear what you have to say, and you know, the more you like, subscribe, comment, the more these videos will get shown to other people too. So, you know, I would appreciate it if you have any thoughts that you express them. So it's up to you. I would appreciate it. But let's bring you on around here and we can check everything out. There it is. Pixie Dust number 002 Skooma. Alright. Well, thanks for coming by Gulfside Baitworks, and hopefully we see you next time.